Yo, welcome back. This is Stu42 with another Minecraft video. Today I've done a bit of work since the last episode. I decided to go off and sort a few things out and learn a few things before making another video. So as a result, this episode is going to be a quick sort of showcase of what I've done. It's not really a lot. I sort of kept going on the Applied Energistics theme and quickly realized that I was going to run out of power and I needed something to power it. So that enters this. Now, as you can see by the pattern and the bit in the middle, those of you who recognize the forestry multi-farm will probably know this well. I prefer these just because they look a bit nicer above ground, like they're just nice and flat and you don't have the the planters and the harvesters and all that sort of stuff. They also seem to use a lot less power, or at least they did in the last packs that I used them in. The Mine Factory Reloaded ones always seem to chew up quite a lot of power. And as you can see, I'm using the dark oak saplings here, which over in the distance there, there's a forest of them. So this is stopped probably because it's full. Yep. So it is chock-a-blocks. It's still got plenty of fertilizer, probably plenty of power. So I'm just going to pull all of that out. Alright, maybe it's out of power as well. So the other thing I did is I managed to trade with one of the other players on the server to get this, which is a solar generator. It's just full of power. This here, if you switch the switch, it'll transmit its power down there. I also found that during the night time, it just transmits power by itself anyway. So I tend to just leave that as a backup generator. Now, as you can see, I've moved stuff around here. I've put the terminal here. I've put the drive here. It's powered off still at the moment. I have my sag mill and alloy smelter here. Sorry, excuse me. Just for manual stuff at the moment. So I was making some iron. There's some tin powder I've got on me. I might grab one lot of those. Yeah, I've got an XP drain here just to store my XP. Now downstairs is where I've added probably the most stuff. I moved the furnace generator down here. I added 2 blocks of capacitor bank, which as you can see are full. Those are just full from, there's a cable under the ground that goes up to that solar generator I showed you before. We have a carpenter and a thermodynamic fabricator, both of which I needed to build the multi-farm. We have a coke oven here, which I will throw that in. So I was planning to run it off charcoal. I haven't got any of the automatic feeder system set up yet. I was going to use Applied Energistics to do the feeding, but I haven't got enough cable yet. So there's still a few things to do. Along here, this is the bottom half of the farm. So we've got a acoustic accumulator sitting right underneath that farm valve. This is, well, it's okay. So it is harvesting some stuff now. That's out of power. So let's just throw 10 of those in there. The power seems to last a long time. I'm just manually powering it for the moment. Just seems to be, a lot easier at this stage. So I think that's about it for this episode. I just wanted to sort of catch up on where everything was. The Ignis extruder over here, I needed to make some obsidian, but I've got a little problem with this. If these don't join, so these 2 fluid conduits from Ender.io don't join each other, and I'm not entirely sure why they don't. Even if I go up and around, it doesn't. So I'm going to have to do some research into that. Oh, the other thing that I've also found is this ME controller. Those of you watching the last episodes that know a bit about the new Applied Energistics were probably shaking your heads at me. I didn't realize you don't actually need a controller anymore if you just want to use 8 channels. So Applied Energistics has introduced this thing called channels. I will probably go into it in a bit more detail in the next episode because I want to do a bit more Applied Energistics. But by default, you can have 8 channels without a controller. So that means just 8 devices or 8 endpoints connected. So a terminal will count as one endpoint, an ME drive will count as another endpoint, an export bus is another endpoint, for example. So you then get up to using these dense cables which can hold 32 channels, and these covered cables, smart cables, which hold 8, I believe. So, and then the different colors don't connect to each other, which is pretty handy. And there was another bit of cable down here. Quartz fiber you can use for no channels. I think the quartz fiber just supplies power. So I'll look a bit more at sorting out the power and automating that in the next episode. So, and we got half full of creosote oil, which I decided to just store in there. So yeah, that's about it for the quick tour. As you can see, I've also got a chunk loader. Everything's pretty much coming along the way I wanted it to. There we go, it's replanted everything. Oh, initial bit of problem that I had with these, I had the grass blocks down myself, and you can't do that with an auto farm. You need to clear all the blocks out, make sure you've got dirt in here, and once you've got dirt in there, it'll actually plant the hummus itself, or humus, because it's not really hummus, it's humus, I think is how you pronounce that one, to put the saplings on. And as I said before, dark oak seems to give a pretty good yield of wood. Alright, so that's it from me. I will see you again next time. As always, thank you very much for watching.